Hi everyone. Today I would like to go over a new feature that we just added this morning that has been requested countless times from our users, and that feature is custom forms. Now these are not to be confused with the current forms that we have for like the registration form or payment form or trip lead form. These are for, other things, not necessarily when someone's ready to book or make a payment. Think of it like a couple of examples would be maybe a form to send to a client when they want to cancel their trip just to confirm everything, or maybe a form if they want to change the lead passenger or a passenger on a trip where they basically sign off that they're allowing you to do this, or maybe an insurance waiver of some sort. So these forms are just, they're not really tied to creating a trip or creating a payment or anything like that. They're just going to be a form that you can send, a simple form. You can customize what it has on it, the disclaimer, the checkboxes, signature, stuff like that. Send it to the client, and when they fill it out and submit it, it will attach that form, the signed version of it, to the client's trip. So a lot of you now are probably using the invoice approval feature for stuff like that, but sometimes it doesn't make sense to actually send the whole invoice with the form. So, that's why we created these custom forms. So I'll show you how to use them now. So the first thing you want to do is go under settings, and you will see a new spot for custom form details. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And for admins, you can add them under personal for just yourself, or if you want to create something that everyone within your account can use, you can enter it under a system template. So this is where I'm going to enter it, and this is all just going to be made up information, but let's just do one for a trip cancellation form. So I'm going to name it trip cancellation form, and then I'm going to put in the subject. Probably have there we go, I've typed it in already, and I'm just going to make up some information here. So I'm going to say hi to the client, hi nickname, and you need to put in the custom form URL. That has to be in the email body, otherwise you won't be able to save this. And then let's just finish it off with agent signature. Alright, so now we get into the actual form settings. So here, much like on the regular API forms, like these, you can change the colors of the section header and the text. So let's just do like a teal-ish color, and here we'll go black for the font. And it gives you 3 default things that you can just edit. You could delete these and just add them one by one, but let's just go ahead and edit this one. So first, let's have a drop-down question that asks them, are you actually wanting to cancel, or maybe they want to change the dates, I don't know, something like that. So and so you type the actual item, the label for that question, and then here you can select what type of question it is. It could be a text box, a date box, memo box, which would be for like if they needed to type multiple sentences, or a paragraph, drop down, and checkbox. So in this case, we're going to do drop down, and so we're going to give them 2 options: cancel and reschedule. And let's make that one required, and we'll click save. And then the second thing, maybe we'll do another drop down, maybe reason for cancellation, or reason for canceling. And we'll do again a drop down, and I'll just make up a couple random things. We'll just put other as the third option, and let's make that one required as well, and save. And then I'm just going to add one of each other type, just so you can see what it looks like on the actual form. So this one, let's do, do you have any comments? And let's make that a memo box so they can type multiple things. This one we don't need to make required. And if we want to add more to that, we'll go ahead and say I'll just put that in there as a text input. And then finally we will do a date. And another thing that's nice about this is if you add them and then you start looking at this and you're like, I don't want it in that order, maybe you want the date box above this, you can grab these and you can rearrange them like that. Now we get into the disclaimer, and this is where maybe if it was a cancellation form, you let them know, once we have canceled this, there is no undoing that. So if you do change your mind and want to actually go on this trip, you are subject to, the current rates and availability. So I'll just type some random sentences in here just so you can kind of see what it looks like on the form. And so we'll just copy that and paste it a few times. And if you wanted to put some sort of attachment inside here, you could put your cursor here and then, select the file and upload it and put it there. And then we've got the agreement section. So I can put in up to 3 checkboxes. So I could say and we'll make that required. I'm just putting random stuff in there. And then this is what will pop up when they actually submit that form. So we'll go ahead and save this. So now we've got that in there. So let's go to a trip for a client. So we'll go to one of my trips here, since it has my email address and I want it to be emailed to me. And let's just do this family vacation, and we'll pretend that it's not expired. It was, paid in full maybe at this point. And you'll see a button here to send custom form. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to select which one I want to send. Now in this case I only have one, the one we just added, but once you get going you might have several in here, so you'll pick from the one that you want to send them. You can send it via an email, or if you have the SMS add-on, you can send it as a text message. So we'll just do email, and I will click select, and here you can see kind of a preview of the email, and we will go ahead and click send. And now if I refresh this page and scroll down, there is a section dedicated to this, so you can see the status right now is sent. And also, if you want to, you can go into your dashboard and click on edit dashboard. We created a dashboard panel for that as well. So typically this bottom one will be blank, and if you look in here there's one for custom forms, so we will select that and click save. And now if we go back to the dashboard and let the whole thing load, and scroll down, you can see the forms there. Now here is the actual email that was sent to the client, who is me in this case. So again, I didn't really type much in there. Typically you're going to want to type more in the actual email to let them know what it's for, and then they can click on this to view the form. And so here it is. So this is what it'll look like. So they're going to go through and they're going to say, I would like to actually cancel, and the reason is other, and I'll say no comments. I'll skip that, and I'll just put a random date in here, and then I need to check these boxes. It enters today's date automatically for them. They will type their name for their signature and submit. And then that is that message that you saw in the at the bottom of that setup screen. And you will also receive an email like this when the client actually submits the form to let you know that it's been done. And then also, if we go back to the trip and refresh this, it shows that now it has been submitted. It will also show seen status. I should have showed you that. If the client clicks on it and opens the form but maybe doesn't actually submit it, you will see that they've clicked on it. It'll say seen. But this will always be sitting here under their trip, so you can always refer back to it if later on they claim that they didn't want to cancel, or whatever the form was for. You've got your proof there. So we're going to add a couple more things to this. We're going to add a report that is tied into this, so you could actually, if you have a ton of these, rather than just see them all on the dashboard, you can actually run a report for it. And then another thing that I believe we are going to do is in the settings of it, we're going to add a way for you to do a file uploader that you can add to it. So if it was, maybe you want to send a form out to collect a picture of the client's passport after the fact, you could add that file uploader, and you could make the form pretty generic. Just basically say, hey, please submit, drag and drop a picture of your passport here to submit it, and it will, show the form here, but it will also add it as an attached file under their trip. So, give this a look, test it out. If you see any issues or things that we should add to it, be sure to let us know. Thank you.